Hello class, in this video, I am going to teach you how are you going to calculate the membership value given the x value using the y equal to mx plus c formula. Right, so if you can see in the tutorial question, let's say we look into question number 3 here, right? Usually the question will give you the fuzzy rule, and then it will give you the fuzzy set, and then the usual or the favorite question would be to determine the fuzzy variables and also list the linguistic value for each variable. Also, you need to sketch the fuzzy graph for each variable, and last but not least, you need to calculate the membership value, degree of membership, or y given x. Now, for question number 1, I bet you won't be having any problem on that. For question number 2, you are supposed to look into the fuzzy set value, and then you need to sketch the fuzzy graph here, right? So if you look at here, we have a variable and also b variable, a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3. So if you look at the set here, the value of the set here, you are going to sketch the fuzzy graph based on the set here, right? So a1, a2, and a3 should be in one graph, or for example here field, and b1, b2 should be another graph that is distant. So for question number 3, I bet you are going to have a bit of problem on this, but then I believe that you actually have been studying y equal to mx plus c in your school back in form 4 or form 5, but then I would like to recap on that now. Okay, now, so the question would be, calculate the membership value for A1, A2, A3, B1, B2 if a course fuel is 12 liters and the distance of the destination is 165 kilometers. You need to provide your answer in 2 decimal places. By using y equal to mx plus c, you can achieve the membership value here, or we can say that as y. But how to do that? Now, the first thing that you should do is you need to determine the x value. Where does the x value falls in your graph? Say here, if a car's fuel is 12 liters, look at 12 liters here, right? Okay, this is 12 liters, okay? And then where does it falls in A1 graph? So if you can see A1 graph, it is something like this. See? So meaning that your A1 graph, 12 will fall at 0 membership value here. 12 will fall at 0 membership value. What about A2? A2, you are going to have one value here. Okay, so this value, you need to calculate that by using y equal to mx plus c, right? Given that, you need to find the m, the gradient, either it is positive or negative, and also the c here, okay? So what about A3 here? A3, the membership value for 12 would be 0 as well. Because if you can imagine the graph here, it looks something like this. Okay, so 12 falls here, that is equal to 0. So meaning that what you need to do is you need to provide the answer for A1, y equal to 0. A2, you need to calculate it using y equal to mx plus c. And A3, you need to say that y is equal to 0 as well. Now, for the example, I would like to look at this one. The distance to destination is 165. So when you are having 165 kilometers as x, you need to find the membership, the degree of membership at A1, A2, A3, B1, and B2. But then 165 only fall at B1 and B2 only. So you need to look at graph B2. 165 should be somewhere around here. 165 should be around here. Now, if you look at the graph here, 165 will fall at B1 at 0, right? Because the graph is something like this. So 165 is somewhere around here. B2, we do have the value or the degree of membership when it touch the slanting line of B2. So it would be something that we need to calculate using y equal to mx plus c. So the first step to calculate y equal to mx plus c is you need to calculate m value first. M value, the gradient, and then you need to calculate c, y-interception. Then only you need to put the value of x and also y to get y. Okay, let me just erase this. Right, so we have here y equal to mx plus c. So the first step is we need to calculate the m. How are you going to calculate the m? The formula would be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. See, you have the value of, you need to have the value of y2, you need to have the value of y1, you need to have value x2 and also x1 here. So if we look at 165x here, it will be fall on this line here. Okay, so these would be the y1, these would be the y2, these would be the y1. y1 is equal to 0, y2 is equal to 1. What about x? x2 is equal to 160. Okay, x2 is equal to 160 and x1 is equal to 150. So when you are replacing the value here, what you need to do is y2 is equal to 180. Sorry, it's not 180. This is the value of x. y2 is equal to 1 minus 0 over 180 minus 150. So you are going to get 1 over 30. And you can see that the m is in positive value. So it will be slanting upwards here. Okay. Then what you need to do is you need to find the c. So we have here 1 over 30. And then you need to find the c now. C would be equal to how? Okay, so we need to replace the value of x and y with the value that is available in the graph. Meaning that you can actually replace the value, getting the c by replacing the value of x and y using this value. Okay, meaning that your x would be 180 and your y is equal to 1 here. Okay, so what you need to do is for x is equal to 180, y is equal to 1. So your y equal to mx plus c would be 1 equal to your m just now that you have calculated, your x plus c. Okay, so 1 equal, this one would be 6 and plus c, and your c would be negative 5. So you have here c as negative 5. Okay. Next, what you need to do is, this is step number 1, this is step number 2. You need to replace the value of x with the question 165 so that you can find y. So what you need to do is y is equal to, wait, let's just change the color. Right, so you will be having here y equal to mx plus c, where x is equal to 165. Okay, so y would be 1 over 30 times 165 plus negative 5. So you are going to have here 0.5. So this would be the answer if x is equal to 165, your y would be 0.5. So if you can plot that on your graph, you can see that the value here is actually 0.5. So you can actually proceed with fuel equal to 12 liters. For example, here 12 liters, okay, for this one. So you need to find y1 here, y2 with the value of x1 and x2. y1 could possibly 1 and x1 is 10. y2 is 0, x2 is 15. So please substitute y equal to mx plus c to find m first using y1 and y2, x1 and x2, and then calculate c. Then only you replace the value of 12 in x to get the value of y. So that's all. I hope you can understand that. If you do have any question, you may ask me later on. Thank you, everyone.